Hello everyone and welcome to Season 6, Episode 31 of Pro Wrestling's Top 50. I'm your host Travis McNeil, and today we continue our countdown of the top 50 matches of 2021 with match number 20 on our list, which is for the Princess of Princess title between the champion Miyu Yamashita and the challenger Maki Ito from the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling Wrestle Princess 2 event held on October the 9th of 2021. When this match happened and I watched it right after it happened, I thought it was the best match that I had seen in 2021. For that reason, I was really curious to see how it would hold up in watching, the number of matches that I did for this project. I knew it would probably hit the top 50 just based off my initial reaction and feelings to it, but I didn't know how high it would rank. So coming in at number 20, it did a pretty darn solid job. This is a match that really my own personal hype for it took me by surprise. Tokyo Joshi Pro wasn't really on my radar a ton before 2021. If you don't know the history of the promotion, they were a teeny tiny little organization when they started, and really over the past couple of years they've exploded through their relationship with DDT and Noah and a lot of their stars appearing on AEW. They've really become, I'll say, the second Joshi promotion as far as exposure is concerned, only behind Stardom. And part of that has to do with Miyu Yamashita, who was their primary champion for a lot of the year and is absolutely incredible. If you're unfamiliar with her, she is a beast, just a pure striker, absolute badass. The perfect counterpart to Maki Ito, who maybe you've seen her on AEW television. She is an interesting character. She sings and dances. She used to be a pop star, but she's got an incredibly hard head. She's a little sick and perverse, and both of these two have proven to be incredible rivals. Actually, as I'm recording this video, they're scheduled to wrestle each other in the US this upcoming weekend, which is incredibly exciting. Now, they wrestled on January the 4th of 2021 in a match that just narrowly missed this list, and it was incredible. It is a brutal match that turns into an incredible one-sided ass-kicking by the end of it. Maki Ito comes in disrespectful. Miyu Yamashita, always the professional, tries a handshake, gets slapped in the face, and by the end of the match, she makes Maki Ito absolutely pay for it, knocking her out with a brutal head kick, resulting in a referee stop. So throughout the year 2021, Maki Ito went from that match to becoming, this rapidly improving, great all-around performer that, started to take things a bit more seriously. And it actually led to her winning the Princess Cup tournament. She had a bunch of memorable matches in that tournament. And by the time we rolled around to this one, my own hype for it, I was shocked with how much I cared about this match going into it and how much I wanted to see Maki Ito win the title. I just loved the story that they had crafted here. And when I originally watched this match, I sort of compared it to, on my social media, as of the Kazuchika Okada, Katsuyori Shibata New Japan match, the famous match that, up until this year was Shibata's final match. And the reason I did that, not that the matches are really that similar, but in that Shibata match, something came over me where I wanted him to win so badly. And as a wrestling fan, I've been watching this so long, 30 plus years, that, oftentimes I don't really get hooked into, an actual match caring about the winner and loser, because I can kind of see it from all of these different perspectives. But just in that match, I gave my heart to Shibata and I wanted him to win, and I was so upset when he didn't. And obviously, we would know the aftermath from it. That is how I felt about Maki Ito in this match. I wanted her to win so badly, and it created this incredible watching experience for me that it became like transcendent in a way, and it blew me away. And that's why coming out of it, I was like, I cared more about this match than I cared about any other match in 2021. And it worked for me. And watching it back, I know the result. I don't have that pure raw emotion invested in it anymore. But it's still a great match that ties together this story that they've created beautifully. And they establish right off the hop, the match starts with a handshake. completely different than the January 4th match where Maki Ito slapped her in the face and got pulverized for it. Here, there's a handshake and there's a clear level of respect. And, it shows that this is going to be a different match. Maki Ito is a different wrestler than she was back on January the 4th. They start with some good basic wrestling, but early on, Maki Ito goes for a strike. And the difference here is on January 4th, Yamashita made her pay and brutalized her. Here, it's a simple, just a dragging kick to the back, almost as like a warning shot. Basically saying, you don't want to do this. You remember what happened in January where I knocked you out cold and the referee had to stop the match for your benefit. That will happen again if you try to trade with me and stand with me. Maki Ito, gets that warning shot and decides to go in a different direction, takes Yamashita to the floor, rams her back first into the post, a body slam on the floor, starts to work that back. She uses a lot of back-based submission moves, primarily a Texas Cloverleaf, so it makes sense that she would go after that. She did that back in January as well. She hits a lot of big offensive maneuvers. She hits like a hangman's DDT on the ring apron and a tornado DDT off the ring apron to the floor. She, goes up top. She has a great diving headbutt. Yamashita cuts her off. The first really big strike of the match, which is a head kick, and hits like a wild, like twisting fireman's carry, like slam off the top for 2. And from there, we really go into a run that leads to the close of this match where it's high drama, big time strikes, everything that makes professional wrestling, specifically Joshi, great to me. And one thing, and I've never really put my finger on what it is, but I find that Joshi, Japanese women's pro wrestling, they really convey emotion so much better than, a lot of, male wrestling or even, female wrestling in the United States. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's, just the raw emotion that the wrestlers show, the screaming and the tears and the fighting and the crowd reactions are what it is, but it hooks you. Like if you go back and watch a lot of classic, like All Japan women matches, there's something about it that hooks you. And, kind of leading into the close of this match, and I should say this match, had all of this hype as this big time title match, the tournament winner getting her title shot, Wrestle Princess, the biggest show on the TJPW, calendar all year. This match only goes like 18 minutes, so it really doesn't overstay its welcome. It packs a punch, and it's all the better for it. So, the last half of this match, they really kind of get into that finishing stretch quite quickly based on the short duration of the match. So we get, this big forearm trade. Miyu hits like this brutal one and it sends Maki Ito like rebounding off the ropes into a big headbutt and she falls on top for a cover for 2. Maki Ito, like I said, she plays up this, that she's got this super, super strong head. So Miyu lights her up with all of these chest kicks, and this is where the emotion kicks into overdrive, where, these kicks are brutal, and, Maki Ito is just like doing whatever she can to kind of fight through them. She catches one of the kicks defiantly, hits a big headbutt, but then gets blasted with a just disgusting head kick. Miyu Yamashita, to her credit, she has some of the best facial expressions in all of wrestling, where she just looks like a stone cold killer. Like, you do not want to mess with this woman. She will fuck you up. So, she hits this brutal head kick, hits like a, Masaki Mochizuki style, like triangle kick, and she goes for a big running, like PK, like the penalty kick, and Maki Ito rolls it into a Boston Crab and goes back to working that back. So she uses this Boston Crab, she abandons it, hits the diving headbutt off the top to the small of the back, locks in a lion tamer, tries to transition that into a Texas Cloverleaf, and Miyu just hits this like sick headbutt, and that was a spot that they, had used back on January 4th. So it's kind of, we're getting this little bit of deja vu coming out of this match. She hits this brutal headbutt, Maki fires back with her own headbutt, tries a roll up, but that's countered into just this insanely sick German suplex, this deadlift German. But Miyu can't hold the bridge because of the bad back, and that it leads to this great moment. where we end up, getting a wrist control spot, which maybe is a little overused, looking at Yu Okada and Tanahashi, but, it's something that really works as far as, drama is concerned. And before we get this amazing, wrist control spot that I'll get to, we get this excellent moment where, Maki Ito, she's been brutalized. She's a different person, but she's fighting through, and she goes back to her root, and she throws the middle finger up. She's always using the middle finger. Like I said, she's kind of like weird and sick. So she throws this middle finger up, and, Yamashita, rather than destroy her back like she did on January 4th, she almost in a sign of respect kind of puts the fist up to the middle finger, and, grabs the wrist. And one of these women is going to be left standing, and one is going to crumble in a heap, and that's going to determine our winner. And, Maki hits this sick headbutt. She gets blasted with a knee to the head, and Miyu Yamashita hits just this wildly insane spinning back kick to the head that is nasty and disgusting. But unlike on January 4th, when that knocked Maki Ito out cold and forced the referee stop, Maki Ito does not go down. She gets hit with one more of them. She does not go down. And then it's finally a flying knee that puts her down for the 3 count. And as disappointed as I was in the finish, because I wanted Maki Ito to win, there was still some meat left on the bone of Yamashita's title reign. But Maki Ito, got a victory in this match despite the loss. It showed, like I said, that she, the story they'd been trying to craft, that she's a changed pro wrestler, a much better pro wrestler than she was only 9 short months prior. That she took the shots, that she did not get knocked out and result in a referee stop. That was the win in of itself. And we get, this great post-match scene, with the show of respect, and both women are crying and they're hugging, and it's a beautiful moment. Not the result I wanted at the time, but much like Shibata and Okada, when the match was done, I was left satisfied of the growth and the performance and the story that was created of the wrestler I wanted to win. So yes, I was disappointed, but I was not unsatisfied. This match was incredible at the time. It still holds up as being absolutely fantastic. If you're going to watch it, I highly recommend you watch the January 4th match first. That January 4th match is available for free on Tokyo Joshi Pro's YouTube account. You can find it just by searching the 2 performers on YouTube. This match itself is available on Wrestle Universe. If you don't subscribe, it is a great subscription service. It's got, everything that you could ask for on there, from, that Tri-brand, DDT, Noah, and TJPW. Be on the lookout for these 2, because like I said, they're in the US right now. They're appearing on AEW. Miyu Yamashita is just an absolute monster. She's going to be wrestling in PWG very soon as of my recording of this video. When was the last time you saw a women's match in PWG? So it really shows kind of what an attraction that she is becoming. Both of these women are excellent. They are mega stars, and they, together put forth one of my favorite stories of 2021, leading to one of my favorite matches of 2021. You can subscribe to my channel here, of course, on YouTube, so that you never miss a video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling50, and please join me again next time as we continue to count down Pro Wrestling's Top 50.